Pests beware, your fields have heroes. The Pests and Predators podcast is brought to you by Field Heroes and is powered by the Western Grains Research Foundation. Learn how beneficial insects fight pests and protect your crops. Visit fieldheroes.ca today.
Shaun Haney here with RealAgriculture.com and RealAg Radio, Rural Radio 147, Sirius XM, and joined right now by Maria Zieba with National Pork Producers Council. Maria, it's great to chat with you.
Great to chat with you.
Okay, trade. A lot of talk here today at NAFB's Washington Week about trade. From a pork perspective, the administration currently is negotiating a lot of trade deals at once. Yeah. We're going to see what that outcome looks like. From pork's perspective, where do you want to see them focus?
Yeah, so for our exports and our producers, we actually export over 25% of our production. In 2024, that was $8.6 billion to over 100 countries. But the bulk, or more than half of our exports, go to the 20 countries we have a free trade agreement with. And so the importance for us and our producers is to ensure that any agreements that we may have address all the barriers to trade, whether they're tariff or non-tariff barriers to trade. And what we have been encouraging the administration is to focus on markets in Southeast Asia, Vietnam being at the top of the list, followed by the Philippines, Taiwan, Indonesia. We've also encouraged them to negotiate with the United Kingdom since the UK has come to the table as well. So there's certainly a lot of opportunities there.
And what is the upside? Like, I don't know if all, you get what you want from all of those countries, but I guess how much could exports potentially increase? Like, what would be a win?
For us, a win would be a elimination of all tariff and non-tariff barriers into Vietnam, as well as making sure that they are buying U.S. pork and that we have full market access. Because right now, the issue that we have in Vietnam is that we have tariffs while the rest of our competitors are at zero, and we don't have the full market access. So what we need to start doing is diversifying our product portfolio. We send a lot of offal products to China, and we are looking for those areas that have a similar consumption pattern as China, where we can diversify and make sure that we have that market access if there's any trade disruptions.
So who are your main competitors in Vietnam?
Our main competitors are Russia, the EU, and the CPTPP countries. So that would be countries like Canada and Mexico, but both Russia and countries in the European Union have full market access and have zero duties.
How does Russia have better market access into Vietnam than the U.S.? That surprises me.
They have had better market access into Vietnam for well over a decade. Yes, because of their political landscape. So
that's where you're trying to increase market share. Now, bringing it back home here to North America, trade between Canada, the U.S., and Mexico on pork it's pretty darn important. It's part of the supply chain. Mm-hmm. What are you telling the administration on that matter?
Well, the NAFTA and subsequent USMCA has been very beneficial for our producers. We like it the way it is. I know that there are many contentious agricultural issues and non-agricultural issues within USMCA, but for pork producers in the United States, Canada, Mexico, we're happy where we're at. We have a very cooperative, collaborative relationship. We collaborate a lot on foreign animal diseases, and that's something that we want to continue to have, and the economics will play out.
Just jumping back to exports outside of North America, you had kind of hinted on some of the product that is being shipped to China. Are we talking about mostly just offal, or are we also looking at moving loins into some of these Southeast countries?
Yeah, so it's a product mix. We have offals that get exported. We have muscle cuts that get exported into China. It's over $1 billion that gets exported to China. So it's a little bit of everything, and that's why we have to diversify into as many countries as possible. Vietnam is the one that we've been pushing a lot on. If you look at the trade data, Vietnam is importing more from India than they do from the United States. And last time I checked, India wasn't a big producer of pork. So it's certainly a tremendous opportunity for our products into that country specifically.
Great stuff. How about issues back at home? What are some of the things you're focused on there?
Yeah, so what we've been focusing on for the last few years has been on Proposition 12 out of California, which has certainly caused disruptions in the marketplace and created this instability. And what we are trying to do is make sure that we don't have a patchwork of regulations across the 50 states and that our producers have continuity and know what they should be raising instead of seeing many different states come out with various regulations.
It would really frustrate that integrated supply chain, that complementary supply chain with a country like Canada, because depending on where that export goes, it may have to have a different kind of compliance.
And we've seen that both the Canadians, the Kiwis, and the Australians all filed a WTO complaint at the Technical Barriers to Trade Committee last year, where they said, hey, the United States is in violation of their obligations under the agreements that we have. And so we know that this is a trade barrier, it's a trade irritant, because our trading partners have told us so and have made it public.
Will Proposition 12 be addressed in the Farm Bill?
That is our push. That's our number one ask in the Farm Bill, is to address Proposition 12, and hopefully we get a Farm Bill this year that will address it. We were very successful last year in getting it through the House Ag Committee and bipartisan support. We hope to use that momentum and carry it over to this year.
We'll wrap up talking about profitability at the farm gate level. There's a lot of focus right now on the financial health of the beef sector. They're doing their thing. A lot of concern in the cropping sector. How are things right now for pork producers?
Well, the overall pork producer is having some challenges. Agriculture is it is difficult to plan for all the different contingencies, and what our producers need is stability and reliability into new markets, and to make sure that the markets that they do have, that they continue to be able to export. The domestic demand is strong, and we want to see it grow, but as well as being able to export.
Great stuff. Really appreciate you joining me today, Maria.
Thank you. Appreciate it.